The Brownies with a nice, easy, talk about easy wins today. And that number beginning of the week was 7.
Yes.
And I believe it closed 13,
Yes.
right around that range.
And still gets there.
I mean, and easily gets there against the Cardinals today. And now they're going to go to Charm City to take on the Ravens. This is an interesting number to me because who has the better defense? It's debatable. And I know that maybe the knee-jerk is Browns. I think we know who has the better offense right now. And I know Deshaun Watson, it looked a little bit better, at least in the second half today against the Cardinals. 4.5 feels a bit heavy to me. And ironically, we talked about it a little bit off the air. Ravens' number's gone up to 5.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm one of those people.
I'm actually seeing 6.
Whoa. Like, to me, maybe I'm one of those people that, even though I've got a ticket, plus 1250, for the Ravens to win the AFC, and I love where I'm sitting there, Wes, I'm still not all the way convinced because I still have that Steeler game in my memory and the Colts game in my memory of they should really be undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to be on, they should be 9-0. And yet 7-2, you'd say, hey, John Harbaugh, if I offered you 7-2 to begin the year, you'd say absolutely. But really, if you look at it, they realistically should be 9-0. Now, here come the Browns. They beat them the first time in Cleveland. You feel like, boy, if you can keep winning in the division, the only loss they have so far is against the Steelers. It takes a big step if they can hold serve again at home and get that 2 games against Cleveland if you're thinking about bigger picture of winning the division.
Right. And when you look at this, too, they met in week 4. Baltimore wins in Cleveland 28-3. It's hard to take a lot from that game because it was Dorian Thompson-Robinson at the last minute.
That's right.
That started, a rookie middle rounder, threw 3 picks, took 4 sacks. Just a bad game all around for Cleveland. So it's tough to take a lot from that necessarily. But look, I've been praising Baltimore, and the market's kind of following suit because people are like, oh, why? I saw a lot of people on Seattle like, oh, that's a lot of points for the Ravens to lay. That was a no-doubter, Dave. That was just like the Lions game a couple weeks ago. Maybe not as much where it's like, okay, a lot of Joe Public is buying into the Lions and taking the underdog. And then the Ravens, it was just, wire to wire. Ravens, 515 yards of offense today. 298 on the ground.
They're starting to be the team that I thought the Bills. Now, look, the Bills have got defensive issues with injury to Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano, so it's not the same thing. When they're beating good teams, I think we think Seattle's a good team. We know Detroit's a good team, and they laid them out the last 2 weeks. So they played with their food in a couple games and lost, Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. And it's almost like this team is like, all right, who do we want to be? Do we want to be that team that kind of lets other guys hang around, or we want to start putting mud holes in there? Mm-hmm. And they put 2 mud holes back-to-back now against Detroit and Seattle. If they do a third against Cleveland, a good defense,
right?
I think the rest of the AFC, if they're not already on notice, will be.
Oh, absolutely. And this Cleveland defense, by the way, one of the best in the National Football League. I know showed some chinks in the armor the last couple of weeks, but we're number 2 in DVOA coming into the day. They may end up being number 1. Now, keep in mind, this was against Clayton Tune, his first road start. By the way, the Arizona Cardinals today, 48 plays that they ran from scrimmage. 58 net yards. Now, they lost 41 due to sacks on 7 sacks. But even if you take out those sack yards, that's 99 yards that they would have had at the end of the day. And just never a chance for Arizona against this kind of defense. And then Watson, of course, was back, and he was okay. Mm-hmm. Was not great by any stretch. No. 19-30 for 219, 2 touchdowns, didn't throw a pick. But look, I'm all about the Ravens love here. But the thing about the NFL that we talk about, sometimes you got to be willing to sell a team at the top of the market too. And maybe this could be the time for the Baltimore Ravens. This is up to 6.
That feels heavy to me.
And I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of buyback here. I hope it keeps going up. I don't know how much more it can go up,
it's
though.
Not going to hit 7.
No, I don't think it's going
not
to.
Against a defense that you can make a case is better than yours.
Unless there's even though Watson hadn't been great, unless they rule him out again and then you're going to have P.J. Walker, then it's going to hit 7 and above. But yeah, I'd be more interested in Cleveland here because I think this is selling a little bit at the top of the market.
Now, the Ravens offense is starting to click. under did hit again. Same thing because Ravens just aren't giving up points right now. Last couple weeks, this total is 39.5.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we're going to get under money coming in, right?
Well, I think it may go up though, because
really?
the fact that you do have Watson back, and even though Watson hadn't been great, he's certainly an upgrade over PJ Walker and DTR and all these other guys you've played at quarterback this year. And like you mentioned, the Ravens offense is absolutely clicking right now.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.